Hi lovely people, you might have done this before. You wanted to be intentional with your wardrobe, so you checked out those capsule wardrobes. You looked up the list, the must-haves, and then you made your shopping list. And you figured, surely if these pieces are on all of these lists, that's what I should go for. Those will be versatile and that is what will make my wardrobe click for me. So you go shopping. You got the white t-shirt, you got the perfect straight leg jeans and the blazer, and you felt not quite yourself. Maybe you felt like you were wearing a costume or didn't even end up wearing those pieces in the first place. And well, you are not the only one. And that is because you were copying someone else's style. You are not selecting pieces that would work for your personal style. It's called personal style for a reason, which ultimately means that something like this could also look like this, or even this. And today I am going to break down a couple of steps that should help you to figure out what to actually select for your intentional wardrobe to work for your personal style. So regardless of what your style looks like, these tips should be able to help you to figure out your basics, not mine, yours. I have a feeling you've heard of this before. Your 3 style words. I'm not the one who came up with this. This is a pretty well-known concept that I believe was first brought into existence by Alison Bornstein, or at the very least, she's who made it popular. And here's why I think this is helpful. When you are wanting to be intentional with curating your wardrobe, with selecting pieces that will work for you, your life, and your personal style, it's actually very helpful to have an idea of what that personal style would look like, to have guidelines, if you will. So to define your personal style. And that is where those 3 words can come in really handy. These can be your guide when shopping for new pieces, but also when you are putting together your outfits to come up with something that truly feels like you and not like a version of someone else. Alright, back to the Alison Bornstein method for the 3 words, the 3-word method. She has a specific meaning for each of those words. We have the first word, which would be the baseline word. This is what your wardrobe looks like for the most part. So basically just describing your style right now in 1 word. And then we have the aspirational word, which is where you would like to move your personal style. What is something you are aspiring towards with your personal style? And then the 3rd word is an emotional word. How do you want to feel when you are wearing your clothing? What do you want to feel like when you are wearing your personal style? So combined, these 3 words can give you a very nice guideline for both shopping and putting together your outfits. And they describe your personal style and where you would like to go with it. Now, I am personally not quite as strict with the meaning of each of these words and what they should represent. I like to follow a slightly looser concept of this, but still with 3-ish words. To come up with those 3 words, I think there are 2 very helpful questions that you can ask yourself. How do you want to feel? So how do you want to feel when you are getting dressed? How do you want to feel when going about your day, when wearing your outfits? How do you want to feel? And then what do you want to communicate? What do you want to communicate through your outfits? So if you couldn't say anything, what would you like people to pick up on about you? And this is something that unconsciously already happens, whether you are using that or not. When you walk into a room, people will, within about 3 seconds, have a first impression of you, a first judgment, if you will, about you as a person, even if you haven't spoken a word yet. Quite simply, by how you entered that room. What you are wearing, how you are wearing it, your body language, also a very strong part of this. But today specifically, we are using the outfit, the personal style, which can communicate a lot, both in color, fabric choice, how you put pieces together, the actual pieces you choose. So what do you want to communicate through your personal style? I would say just take a moment to think of answers for these two questions, and that should give you a selection of words that will probably work really well as your 3 words. So just take a moment to do that, and then let's move on. So a little example. For me personally, my 3 words as of right now, because they do change as I change, as my situations change, as my likes and dislikes change. But as of right now, my 3 words are elegant, whimsical, and organic. I want to feel elegant when I am dressed in my outfits. I want to feel elegant and kind of put together. I also want to have that little touch of whimsical, a little touch of whimsy. Something more feminine and more playful in my outfits, just something that really feels like me. That's just fun. That brings me joy. I don't care what other people think about this, but just something that brings me joy. And I also like my outfits to have a certain organic feel to them. This usually comes out in the fabrics that I choose. For example, I love organic fabrics, I guess, natural materials. I really love linen, which has that slight crinkly, not quite perfect texture to it, and I love that. I'm wearing linen today. I mean, whether you like it or not, I love it, and I feel great wearing that. And it just adds a certain ease to my outfits. So just leaning into one of these words at a time wouldn't quite feel like me. Going all in on elegance might make me feel a little bit stuffy almost. I might feel very elegant, but not like myself. Going entirely whimsical? No, wouldn't work for me either. I do want to have that fun touch of me in my outfits, but not going all the way there. I'm not going to be dressed as a fairy in my day-to-day life, if you will. And then also leaning all the way into organic, I might start to feel a little bit sloppy. So I need all 3 of those to really make my personal style feel like my personal style instead of a stereotype. Because while you will probably fall within a stereotype and an archetype, and while different of those stereotypes and styles also have different archetypes within them, you are likely going to be a mixture of multiple ones. You will have pieces in your closet from years ago that might look very different from what you would select right now, but they might still be something that you enjoy wearing and that are just a part of you. They have been part of your life, and that is okay. That's actually what adds personality into your personal style. And a little note on your 3 words: they don't have to make sense to anyone else but you. So feel free to just play with them, have some fun with them, and just ultimately find something that really feels like you. Not feels like someone else, but it feels like you. It just feels right for you. For example, if you look at my outfits, you might come up with completely different words than I just mentioned, and that's okay. But those words for me are a guideline of where I want to move my personal style and how I want to feel in my outfits, in my wardrobe, in my clothes, in my day-to-day life. So it just has to work for you. Keep that in mind, not for anyone else, just for you. Okay, so that's the 3 words that can be a huge help in selecting what a basic looks like for you, or any piece in your wardrobe for that matter. But I already showed you that basic outfit, if you will. Simple white t-shirt, simple pair of jeans, a pair of white sneakers, and a blazer. I would say that's a fairly nicely put together outfit, but a very basic outfit. It's very classic, and this would be something that you would find on those lists, on those capsule wardrobe lists. There are pieces that are easy to mix and match with pretty much anything, would go with anything, but also if you were to put on this outfit, it might not feel like you. I know that I wouldn't be feeling like myself if I were to wear an outfit like that. However, that same outfit could also translate in any of these outfits. And those have a very different feel to them. They're essentially the same formula. We have a white t-shirt, which looks very different for each of these outfits. A white t-shirt comes in a lot of different iterations. We have a layering piece, Some it's the blazer, you might use a cardigan or even just a button-up shirt. We have a pair of bottoms, jeans or trousers in this case. Again, it might be a pair of jeans, and within that there are so many different options to go for. It might be a pair of trousers, and again, so many different options to go for. We might go for something that's more polished, or you might go for something that's a lot more organic and just laid back. By making those choices for yourself, you are going to move your personal style in a different direction, and that's okay. That's good. What your basics should do for your wardrobe isn't to look like a copy of someone else. What they should be doing is that they are the backbone of your wardrobe. Your basics are what almost carry you through your day to day, and where you might add on fun pieces to really play with your style and to enjoy them. But your basics should be what carries you through almost. These are the pieces that go with anything in your wardrobe. So not in mine, not in hers, in your wardrobe. And in order to get there, we are not looking for a specific piece to add to your wardrobe. We are looking to fulfill a function in your wardrobe. So I think making this switch can be super helpful. So not looking for a piece, but looking for a function. So what is the function that this piece is going to fill in your wardrobe? For a white tee, obviously, might be something that you wear on its own, just an easy piece to grab that goes with anything. But that same white t-shirt can look so different. Like I said, there can be a lot of different iterations of that same white t-shirt, and they all read very differently depending on the cut of the piece, on any details of the piece, on the actual fabric that's used for the piece. For example, a linen t-shirt is going to feel very different from a crisp cotton t-shirt, and it's going to feel very different from a finer point down knit t-shirt. Something with some lace, which is what I personally really enjoy, is going to feel very different than something that's completely plain. It reads differently in the outfit depending on what you go for, and that is really where you can add some personal touches into your outfit. You're still wearing a white t-shirt, a really easy basic piece, but that basic piece doesn't have to mean that it's the same for you as it is for me. And I think that's so good to keep in mind. So if you are looking for a white t-shirt, maybe you're not wearing white. Maybe it's a different color for you. That's fine. Maybe you're looking for a black t-shirt. Maybe you're looking for a blue t-shirt. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's just that simple, easy to grab top that would work for you, and that also still fits with those style words you just selected. So what would a versatile white t-shirt look like for you? What would a versatile summer top look like for you? What would a versatile bottom look like for you? Might be jeans, might be trousers, might be a skirt. All of these can be wardrobe basics for you, and they don't have to be the same for you as for me, like I said. Maybe a layering piece. For some, it's going to be a really nice blazer. I personally, I love the look of a blazer. Rarely wear a blazer because it doesn't quite feel like me. I'm missing my organic feeling. So maybe a linen blazer would work. I don't know. I've never had one. Never tried one. But I tend to go for a cardigan instead. I hope that's helpful for you. I just kind of quickly wanted to run through some options, I guess, for the same basic outfit formula and how you can adapt that for you. So for example, if we're looking at a white t-shirt, there are so many different styles of them. The first thing that comes to mind is most likely going to be just a classic crisp white t-shirt. Not too loose, not too fitted, just basic. And that is likely what most of us think about when we're looking at a basic white t-shirt, right? But you don't have to go for that. So if we are changing, for example, the fabric of that white t-shirt, it's going to read very differently. Like I said, if we're going for a linen t-shirt, that's going to read a lot more relaxed than just a crisp cotton t-shirt. We could look at things like the fit. Something that's a lot more boxy reads very differently and a lot more relaxed than something that's more fitted, which can read more elegant. So it's not like one is right and the other is wrong. It's about choosing what you want to communicate and how you want to feel in your pieces, about what works for you. Also looking at the neckline, like a crew neck would be the typical option, I suppose, but that might not be what you feel greatest in. I personally really like to wear a square neckline, which I'm so not wearing the right outfit for this video today. I should have worn my white t-shirt. I'll add in some clips, but I really like a square neckline. I think that's super flattering on me, which also again looks so different from a more rounded neckline, a boat neckline, a V neckline, a crew neckline. All of these read differently and might work for you or might work for me or both. I mean, maybe you do have the same style as I do, who knows? And then also just little details. So maybe it uses lace, maybe it uses buttons, maybe you go for a polo, which is still a white t-shirt, just with a very different neckline and feel to it. Maybe you go for something that's more cropped and that's going to feel more playful because of that. Maybe you go for, like I said, a more boxy fit, which is going to feel more relaxed. Maybe for something more fitted, which will feel more elegant. Maybe you want a point down t-shirt, which is going to read very feminine. All of these could be versions of white t-shirts that might fit within your personal style. And like I said, it's not like one is wrong and the other is not. There's no right and wrong here. It's just about what works for you and what, like I said, you want from your personal style. So, I hope this was helpful for you. It's certainly something that I wish I knew sooner, but we all have our own path when it comes to building personal style. What is most important is that it is personal to you, and it doesn't have to look the same for everyone. It is called personal style for a reason, and finding the right function for a piece, what you're looking for, and then fitting that within your words can really help to kind of level up your personal style. To not make it feel like anyone else, make it feel a little bit blah when you put it on, but make it feel like you when you put on your clothing, that you selected, that work for you. That's what we want when we get dressed in the morning, right? I mean, it's what I'm looking for. I want to feel like myself when I get dressed. If you're interested in any of the pieces that I showed today, I will try to link everything in the description box for you. And if you would like to see a breakdown of any specific piece or a specific outfit and what that might look like in different style directions, I suppose, or in whatever directions you would like to see, let me know if you'd like to see that. So any outfits you would like me to kind of play with, because I had so much fun putting together like these example outfits. So are there specific outfits you would like me to kind of form into different style directions? And in what style directions would you like me to form them? I would love to hear from you. Also, is this something that you are already doing, or is this new to you? I would love to hear from you in the comments. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. It truly does help out my channel. It might just mean that one extra person gets to see this video, so thank you if you do. Maybe share it with someone if you feel like it would be helpful for them. Again, would truly help me out. But with that, I wish you a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!